AP News. I'm Ed Donahue. Kamala Harris takes the stage at the Democratic National Convention tonight in Chicago. She will accept the party's nomination for president. It's been a whirlwind few months for the Democrats. Michael Tyler is a Harris campaign spokesman.
The vice president is going to share her story with the American people, from being raised by a working mother in a middle-class neighborhood to fighting for survivors of sexual assault and homeowners who suffered in the foreclosure crisis. She'll share her optimistic vision for America's future, a new way forward, while Trump's Project 2025 agenda would drag us back into the past.
Chicago police say they're not changing any of their tactics and are ready for a final night of pro-Palestinian demonstrations outside the convention. There was a peaceful march last night that resulted in no injuries or arrests. Donald Trump is along the border with Mexico and Arizona.
Very sad time for this country in many ways.
Trump's focus is on Kamala Harris's handling of the border.
She wants open borders. She wants our country. I don't understand why anybody would want it, but she wants our country to be open to the world's criminals, so they can come in and rape and pillage and do whatever they have to do.
Also from Arizona, Donald Trump lost to Joe Biden by 11,000 votes there last year. Today, the Supreme Court rejected a Republican push that could have blocked more than 41,000 Arizona voters from casting ballots in November. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky made his first visit to the border area, where his forces launched their surprise offensive into Russia 2 weeks ago. He says more prisoners of war have been captured. The Canadian government is ordering the country's two major freight railroads to enter binding arbitration to resolve a labor dispute that grinded trains to a halt across the country, with potentially lasting impacts in the U.S. as well as Canada. Cruise and Uber have announced a partnership to deploy robo-taxis in some U.S. markets next year. Stocks finished lower. The Dow down 177 points. This is AP News. A passenger was arrested at a Melbourne airport in Australia after he left a plane through an emergency exit.
User-generated content captured by passengers and validated by the AP shows the man walking along a wing and then climbing down a jet engine to the tarmac. Other videos show an open emergency door on the plane and the plane's emergency slide visible from the terminal after people disembarked. Australian Federal Police say officers arrested the man for alleged aggressive behaviour and breaching aircraft security protocols. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Zachary DeMoss was missing for 5 days after his motorcycle crashed along an Idaho mountain highway. DeMoss says he was badly injured and managed to survive drinking creek water. He sustained multiple broken bones, a collapsed lung, and other injuries. I'm Ed Donahue, AP News.
AP Sports, I'm Bruce Morton. Baseball, lots of quality matchups on Wednesday, 2 of them in New York. Wednesday night in the Bronx, the Yankees had little trouble with the Guardians. Correspondent Tom Merriam files this report.
The Yankees now have the best record in the American League after an 8-1 victory over the Guardians. Juan Soto and Aaron Judge once again powered the win, driving in all 8 runs. Soto drove in 5 with a 2-run homer in the first to make it 2-0 New York, his 36th round tripper of the season, a career high, and a 3-run double in the fourth that ballooned the lead to 7-0. Judge homered twice to account for the other 3 Yankee runs, a 2-run blast in the third and a solo shot in the 7th. He now has a major league leading 47 homers and 117 RBIs on the season.
Oh, it's huge, especially after the tough back and forth extra inning lost. It was great. Soto gets it going there in the first inning to give Nestor a nice, comfortable 2-run lead.
Nestor Cortez, meanwhile, shut out Cleveland on 3 hits in 7 innings to earn his 7th win of the year.
Hours earlier in Queens, the Mets walked off the Orioles 4-3. The difference was Jesse Winker's pinch hit homer.
I saw it go over the fence and I blacked out. Off the bat, I knew I hit it hard, and then I saw it go over and I was just happy.
Another big interleague contest had Minnesota at San Diego. Correspondent Gethin Coolbaugh has the story.
Matt Wallner's 3-run homer highlighted a 7-run fourth inning as the Twins beat the Padres 11-4. With the win, Minnesota snapped a 3-game skid and avoided a sweep in San Diego. Twins starter Simeon Woods Richardson was helped by his team's 18-hit attack and won his second straight start.
We had a 10-run lead. Trying to get our team back in the dugout. We have a 10-run lead, pitch like it, not trying to do too much of that case, just trying to fill up the strike zone, throw as many strikes as I could.
The 23-year-old right-hander allowed a run on 3 hits with 7 strikeouts and 2 walks in 5 innings. Jackson Merrill and Donovan Solano homered, and Matt Waldron took the loss for the Padres. San Diego lost for just the 7th time in 29 games.
In a matchup of the top 2 teams in the National League East, the Phillies had just enough to beat the Braves. Correspondent Jim Hart has details.
The Phillies scratched across a run in the 8th to break a 2-2 tie and even the 3-game series against the Braves with a 3-2 decision. Weston Wilson doubled to lead off the 8th, advanced to 3rd on Bryson Stott's deep out to center, then scored the winning run on Brandon Marsh's pinch hit sacrifice fly. Phillies first baseman Bryce Harper liked the old-time baseball.
That's what we got to do to win games like that. Got to play baseball. Situational stuff like that. I mean, getting them over, getting them in, letting our bullpen close it out. Thought Knowles threw the crap out of it today. So just a really good hard-fought win right there. It's a good team.
Kyle Schwarber and Trey Turner each had an RBI in the 6th to tie the game. Orlando Arcia had a 2-run homer in the 4th, but it wasn't enough as the Phillies extended their lead in the NL East to 7 games.
In other NL action, the Diamondbacks outscored the Marlins 10-8. The Nationals pounded the Rockies 6-1, and the Cardinals rallied past the Brewers 10-6. A crowded interleague card had the Rangers walking off the Pirates 1-0. The White Sox won at San Francisco 6-2. The Reds beat Toronto 11-7. The Tigers routed the Cubs 8-2. And the National League West leader hosted a team trying to stay in the AL West race. AP correspondent Dave Ferry, how did things go in Los Angeles?
Bruce, the Dodgers completed a 3-game sweep and added a game to their NL West lead by thrashing the Mariners 8-4. LA broke it open with a 5-run 5th, highlighted by Max Muncy's 3-run double. Mookie Betts put the Dodgers ahead for good with a 2-run double in the 3rd. Another good outing by Jack Flaherty as he held Seattle to 1 earned run over 5 2/3. Loser Logan Gilbert was tagged for 8 runs over 4 2/3. LA leads its division by 4 games over Arizona and San Diego. The M's are 5 games in back of the Astros in the AL West.
Rounding out the American League play, the Red Sox beat the Astros 4-1. The Royals blanked the Angels 3-0, and the Rays beat the A's 4-2. Back with football and basketball after this. Pro football, he's a rookie, and as of Wednesday, Bo Nix is the starting quarterback for the Broncos. The last Denver rookie to earn such high early praise was John Elway. Nix has shown he is cool and calm on the field and cool and calm behind the mic.
As a room, we've been working hard. And putting a lot of good things on film, putting a lot of good things on the practice field, and so to get that news is definitely a great thing.
Pro basketball, a multi-talented NBA great has passed on. Correspondent Gethin Coolbaugh has more.
Al Attles, a Hall of Famer who coached the 1975 NBA champion Warriors and spent more than 6 decades with the organization as a player, general manager, and most recently team ambassador, has died. He was 87. The Warriors announced that Attles had died in his East Bay home on Tuesday, surrounded by family. Nicknamed the Destroyer for his physical style of play, the Warriors were his love and his only team after they selected him in the 5th round of the 1960 draft. Attles was one of the NBA's first black head coaches.
2 games on Wednesday in the WNBA. In a battle of titans, Minnesota won at Las Vegas 98-87, and Atlanta defeated Phoenix 72-63. Bruce Morton, AP Sports.
Good morning. It's Friday. It's a little wet, but that's okay. It's still Friday. There's still a weekend that's just hours away. You didn't even see the news yet. Hey, I'll tell you what. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. We got so much going on today, and it is massive as we find out what's going on here in the CNMI. It is crazy. It is wild, and it is Friday. Thanks for tuning in as we're about to get to all our headlines and all that. You're already caught up with the date with everything that's happening in the mainland and all across the United States here, so that's pretty nice. You got to like it. I can't believe it. Good morning, everybody. Hey, it is Monday morning, and we're going to get you started. It's going to start with some weather, though. Tell you what, it's so wet out there, it's ridiculous. It is 82 degrees outside in Saipan. Absolutely beautiful. Humidity's at 88%. It's not too windy, though. It's pretty light wind, actually. Out of the southeast, 7 to 11 miles per hour. We're looking at a high near 86 degrees today. And my goodness, it's a 30% chance of rain. I'd say it's a 100% chance of rain because that's what we got, and that's what we're looking at right now. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. It's good to see you after last night's baseball game between the Padres and the Blue Jays. What a game it was. Absolutely crazy because it was so close. It was so good, and there was just one monster inning by the Padres that did it for them, and they are moving on. Kyle Huckug and the team, he's like, why me? Because, dude, you're next level. I'm telling you, it is great. There were two really good teams out there last night playing as hard as what they had and able to get the job done. You're able to showcase a lot of young talent. A lot of the experienced guys were out there as well. Just really outstanding stuff. So, hey, guys, thanks again for tuning in. Really great to see you. And let's get this party started. We already know what's going on, but, you know, one of the big things that is in the paper today is about there is no longer the original Commonwealth Bureau of Military Affairs head because he was terminated and not asked to resign, according to this. We haven't received the actual letter, but it was after he decided to run for candidacy. We noticed this when we were talking about the candidates who were running. Like, wow, he's running. That's awesome. So he's going for Precinct 2, I believe. In fact, it might be it is Precinct 2, and this is a big deal. Now, I think it's a shock, and we'll see if we can't get him in here to talk about it a little bit today because, you know, he's the lieutenant governor's guy. He was the guy who, if you look at the museum looks outstanding. If you go back about 20 years ago, the place was falling apart. It's not saying that the people there weren't doing a good job, but maybe they didn't have the funding. They didn't know how to marshal the resources. They did a good job of trying to take care of what they had in there. But, man, that guy found some funding, found a way to get it done. The place looks outstanding. The vehicles look good. It seemed like there was a lot of morale over there, like great spirits for all the staff that was there, and everything looked terrific, really. It was terrific. Not sure what happened at all. But, man, you know, he was really easy to work with. But, you know, we know some things that were happening over there at the Bureau because, you know, we deal with them with everything that's going on with the Armed Forces Committee and when the ships come in. And then when I was with the military folks here, you know, you see who's kind of calling the shots and how things are going. And maybe it was part of that is running for office. And that would be an act of retaliation for sure. But, you know, when you see how that stuff goes, I mean, there were other people who were also getting things done over there. And, you know, speaking of running for office, I think another one of the staffers over there is running for office for Rhoda. So I don't know if that's what the whole case is. You know, I'm not exactly sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how this is going to work for them. We did mention, though, that he's not the only appointed person who is running for office. Jimbo Rayfan is running for Congress. And what he ended up doing was resigning. And, you know, he said that he wasn't asked to resign or anything. He did just resign so that he could run for this position to try to get his spot. But he wasn't terminated, so that's a tough one. And we'll have to see if we can't get him on there Messaged him this morning to see if he wants to come on and talk about it. I know he messaged about it, and he said that he's, according to the story that they got today, that he thought that there was some bias. Let's just send him a real quick message here, see if we can't get him in here to talk about it, because it's here. There we go. DAN. Yikes. It's a tough way to send it in the morning. I had to send it pretty quick to him, but yeah, it's a rough one. And he is running for precinct 2. There's only a couple people going, and then he's got, there's a seat being available now that Manny Castro is running for Senate. So he's running, and JP Sablan is running, and Diego Sablan is running, and probably because those two are running, and they've got a limited number of seats. There's only 2 seats available, and if he's not their guy that they're selecting, maybe that's the deal. I'll tell you, if it does turn into be a case of retaliation, that's going to be a real shame, because that was one of the things that this governor ran on, that saying that he didn't want to do that. Now, again, keep in mind, tell you the words of my old federal security director, Brad, there's 2 sides to every pancake. There's 2 sides to every story. And someone, I remember another famous quote, something about there's 3 sides to every story. One side, the other side, and then the truth, and somewhere in the middle. So we'll find out what happened on that one, but it's a pretty big deal, and especially he was just awarded by the employer support of the Guard and Reserve just the other day, and looking to it says in the meantime all communication is going to run through Velma Beneventi and Julie Enos. So Julie Enos was the lieutenant governor, former lieutenant governor, current governor, was his secretary when he was lieutenant governor, Governor Palacios. And Velma Beneventi was kind of running a lot of things behind the scenes during all of the campaign and the transition and all that. So, so some trusted folks for the governor are the ones that he's having handle all that. Now, we do know Tom Linden has been doing a lot of the work over there in the office, behind the scenes, not out front, not the name in the press release guy, but he's been doing a lot of it. And, Danny, he's been pleasant. I don't think we met under great circumstances the first time, but that was maybe about 18 years ago. And we had 2 different points of view on a similar topic, and I called him out for what I didn't like about it. Turns out we had a good conversation, and everything went great after that. And that's one of the reasons why I think everything works out when you actually get to meet folks here and you have that face-to-face. That's the important part about it. Well, anyway, that's what we've got for that right now. We'll see if he wants to get in. But he can't be happy about it. And I can understand he had to return all his stuff in, and it looks like it was pretty sudden, and it just happened this week. In this letter from the governor and lieutenant governor, it said that they've elected not to continue his employment, therefore providing with the notice of termination without cause, and that their last day of employment was on August 20th, so just 3 days ago. That's a tough way to come to work on a Monday morning, or what is it, Wednesday, Tuesday? That's not awesome for him, for sure. And I certainly, again, they're not going to talk about the specifics, right? The administration is not going to get into the specifics about somebody being removed. They're not, because it's a personnel decision. There would be some room for cause if they actually did, unless there was something massive that would end up coming out. But I don't think that that's the case here. However, if he wants to talk about it, we'll definitely share it. We'll give him as much of a platform as he wants to. I mean, now at least he can really focus on running for office. And you normally have to file for leave anyway, I believe, when you're 90 days out, unless you're an incumbent, which, by the way, is such a weird rule. In fact, I wish we would get rid of it. In fact, if I was running for office, which I'm not, don't worry, that's one of the first things I would change, to eliminate that rule, to change the law so that you don't have to resign or take a leave of absence. I think because there's a lot of people who are in local government positions that won't run because they can't survive 3 months without a paycheck. I totally understand that. If you can't, I mean, it's almost unreasonable and unfair for that to happen. It's just absolutely seems unfair. Hold on, I got to check something here because I have a suspicion that maybe something's not right here. 1 second. Just 1 second. Don't go anywhere. One, two. Hold on, just checking. No, I guess we're okay. All right. So anyway, but that's one of the first things I would do because I think it really, it's almost meant to be an advantage for the incumbents that once you get in, that it helps you stay in by not letting other people who have government, not letting people who have government jobs get in. And that's the hardest part about that whole thing. If you can't get in and you can't leave your job, then it means that whoever is the incumbent gets to stay in, kind of hold those reins on a little bit for. Again, it just doesn't seem fair. And in this one, hopefully we'll get to hear him. Let me send this message too, because I meant to send this too. All right. Yeah, normally when you send a message to somebody about something, I want it to be a little bit more robust and a little bit more full so we can hear about it. But I mean, if that is the case for, if it is a politically motivated thing, if it is because of retaliation for running for office, I mean, that certainly is, that is sad. It's not what we're saying is happening at all, but it is definitely, it would be disappointing again, because, that's not what our governor ran on, right? He did not. He ran on getting away from that kind of stuff, and we'll see what happens here with Danny. We'll see if we can't get him on and see if he wants to talk about it. I mean, it's his story to tell, and hopefully we can get him in here. Really disappointed also seeing what happened over there in Eslito. I'm not sure if you read it, but Judy's Cafe, it's a great little place. It's kind of, it's on a main road, but it's so understated. They actually make really good food, but they're mostly furniture. It's Judy's Cafe, and we had some thieves break into Judy's, and you might be able to help find them. And DPS thinks you might, and they sent us some video to help you out. So apparently, just the other day, a burglar broke in there in the morning at 6:50 a.m. while we were getting ready to start Good Morning Marianas. They went in there. They ended up only getting out with 2 Samsung tablets, $5 worth of coins, and a cooler filled with a bunch of drinks. And it's just one of those small coolers too. And at least they were safe about it by wearing a reflective vest. You see them stocking up the cooler and all that stuff. Like, it's starting to get really petty. And, see the hood that the guy's wearing and everything? I wonder if this isn't the same person who broke into the shack. And it looks like there's somebody else in the back room over there, too, because I saw another light going on back there in the door in that video. And it's just terrible. It's a small business. It's not a massive business. Thank goodness they only got away with $5 in coins. And I bet those tablets that they took are for their cash register so they can keep things going. Or maybe just for some students that are back there. And see, I'm looking in that back window. Yeah, there is somebody else back there too. There's another person back there too with the reflective stuff. And I mean, by the way, I am not making a plan for thieves, but I'll tell you what, who wears a reflective vest when you're breaking into a place? Here's the other video that they provided us. There are 2 of them, and it shows a little bit more detailed of them going in and doing this stuff. The other thing is that if you're a business owner, a small business owner, then it's your personal stuff. It's not like some big corporation that they're taking stuff from. This is just from a small little place, just a little company. Again, it's not even like a big one. You can't even claim that you're just doing it to help your family or something like that. Not when you're knocking off like a little place like that. It's absolutely, I'm not saying that it's good if it's not a family thing, but it's just, you can't, there's no defense to it. So I hope when DPS does get these guys, they really drop their hammer on it. Let's take a look and see if we can't find out a little bit more. Maybe we can identify these guys based on the footage that we got. Now, I don't know if you guys do this. The software that I have lets me really zoom in on these kind of things too, right? So, but maybe we could start with their footwear even, if they've got some discernible footwear. We're looking at their stuff right now. It doesn't look, hold on, let's go back to that. All right, let's go back. Let's scroll back just a little bit. What do you got on your feet there? All right, there's your shoes. Let's look at those. Do you know anybody who's got shoes that look like these? Let's zoom in. Let's get as close as we can. No, this is not like OnlyFans for feet. It's not only feets. Okay, we're zooming in. Hold on. Here. There. Do you know anybody who's got shoes like this and wearing black socks? Okay. All right. So got a style choice going on right here. This is not how they crack the crime. Maybe they do, right? But look, we're zooming in on the shoe of the perpetrators that were, at least one of them. That is the shoe. If you know somebody who's rocking shoes like that, I mean, we should really just screen capture this and put that out there. I mean, then the guy's just going to drop his shoes, right? But this certainly might be one way to identify this guy. And if it's by his footwear, then cool. And that'll be how we Scooby-Doo this thing for these guys. You know, you can get even closer on it. There you go. I don't know if that's a brand, if it's a no brand, but it's a shoe. And you can also, by this, start to put together the size of the person's foot, too, because those look like some standard 12-inch by 12-inch tiles, right? Your regular 1-foot tile. So, now you go. See, look at that. We get to become a little bit more like detectives out here trying to find these bad guys. And they are bad guys. Check for tattoos. Well, if you see here, I'll show you the other video. You see the guy's wearing some full-on sleeves. You know what? That might even be, and you got the other guy in the background too. Hold on, let's see. All right, let's see now with this one. See if I can't zoom in even tighter on the shoes from the other angle here. No, Brad, why are you so into that dude's feet? Oh, God, I'm not. Come on. Let's get silly. All right, let's get in there and see what these things look like down here. Here's another view of what those clomp stompers look like. Got that little, that black angle in the front and then that black heel, right? And guy wears black socks. So, I mean, that's it. So there's just a couple of different views of that. And it's a shame. But in the meantime, police are looking for your help to see if you can help find these guys. I mean, again, these aren't the folks who are even masterminds, right? They're breaking into a place and they got away with 2 tablets and $5 in coins. What that means, though, is that they're going to try to pawn those tablets. If you know some little crackhead running around town who is selling a tablet for like $50, there you go. There's a hint that might be your guy. All right. Oh, that's not fair, Brad. You can't call him a crack. Yeah, he is. If they're breaking into a little place like Judy's and they're stealing for drugs, right? And that's, I mean, sure, they're taking stuff out of the cooler too, but these are not going to be good guys. These aren't people that we have to be super gentle and friendly with, right? All right. Man, all right. So it looks like we can get Danny next week to talk about it. He just messaged us here. So get him to come in studio. Yeah, 1 second. Just sending him a message real quick. There you go. So that's what they got away with. 2 Samsung tables. And as I'm thinking that you might be looking at the video, now you're looking at that. So that's the thing from DPS. Clump Stompers. That's it. That's what he's got. So anyway, if we could find these guys, that would be great. And you know what? If you're familiar with Crime Stoppers, you could get away with doing it being anonymous too. I'm serious. If you give the police the info they need to arrest this guy and they get a conviction, you can get $1,000, at least up to $1,000. So Crime Stoppers are numbers 234-7272. I know you've heard it. I know nobody wants to be that person because, you're going to get found out. No. It's a totally anonymous thing, and you get your money. And it's great. 234-7272. And you get your money for doing the good thing. By turning the bad guys. Man, if the bad guys would just turn each other in for that kind of Crime Stopper money, it'd be awesome. That's exactly what you need to do. Yeah, find my device, absolutely, for the Samsung stuff. And I'm sure DPS is on that as well. But at least for now, I mean, look at that little cooler. If he brought his own cooler, Tobot, that would be hilarious. But that's one of the stolen items. So he stole a cooler and then went into the fridge. He's like, oh, well, while I'm here, I might as well grab a few beers and take them with me. No, we don't know what was in there. They did say that it was some drinks that they took. But that is just brazen. And you look at the clock, it says that it happened around 3 o'clock in the morning. So these guys are up to no good, right? Nothing good is happening for anybody at that time of night, right? You're in a bad spot. You're up to no good one way or another. Oh, yeah. Even in your best night out, something's happening that you wouldn't normally do if you're rocking at 3 o'clock in the morning. Especially if you're not like 22 and in Garapan. Well, anyway, let's help DPS. Hopefully we can. We'll zoom in on that and we'll post a couple photos of that guy's shoes. But I don't know if that's going to be the case for sure, that we'll find him by the shoes. Maybe the guy ditches his shoes, but everyone's like, hey, Larry, what happened to your shoes? Why don't you have shoes? I'll trade you my tablets for shoes. Deal? Okay, that's how we'll know who it is for sure. Anyway, sad to see this for Judy's, but hopefully we'll be able to get those bad guys. So go get them, DPS. You guys have been solving some crimes and getting some stuff done. Hopefully this will be part of that for you. Well done. All right. Also, other big news going on with the IPI and the governor's office. The legal counsels are going to get together to try and figure something out. So let's tell you what the story is all about first. They're going to try to do really figure stuff out because they owe over almost $80 million in fees to the Commonwealth. Yeah, $80 million, just about. And so they're going to see if they can't figure out a repayment plan or some sort of way for them to get back together and pay all that stuff and sign an agreement. Oh, there it is. It's $77.5 million. That's what they owe just for their license fees. And they owe another $3+ million to the Casino Commission and another $20 million for their regulatory fees. That's a total of $98 million. 98.2 if you're keeping track all the way. And maybe I should not just keep on Judy's there. Although it's funny, you're watching those guys take, the IPI guys are taking too. So same thing, I guess. Different kind of crooks, right? But either way, the IPI is, they owe us a lot of money. And so they're going to meet with the governor's legal counsel to see if they can't do it. The only thing I got about that is that IPI is broken or changed every single agreement they've had with the CNMI. You just can't believe them anymore. You just can't take whatever they say and hold them accountable for it, because once they leave here, they're done. They're not going to, that's money that we are never going to see. We are never going to see that money at all. So what we should do, literally, we are not going to see that money from IPI. We're not. So here's what should happen. They've got this guy who wants to buy it for $10 million. And we talked about that this week. He wants to come in and buy the property for $10 million. And then, but he'd be paying IPI for that. I say that we don't let that happen. That's up in court right now. What we do is we just seize the property from them in lieu of all the money that they owe us and call it even. And we try to sell it. If that guy wants to pay us an extra $10 million for it, then maybe that's a start. But we get to put in all the provisions that you got to finish it. You got to develop it. And if you don't, we're taking it back too. Let them do it from us, from scratch. That should be the agreement. We seize everything from them. Now, they've got other creditors that they're going to have to deal with. But the government comes first, right? That's how these things work. So seize the property, take it back, put it back in the little Rolodex of or the portfolio for DPL, and start over. You're not going to be able to start over with the building, but that's not going to happen. They're not going to be able to do anything with it. Hey, just a reminder, you guys, the phone lines are open. It's 670-789-2323, 670-789-2323. Our hotlines are open for you. You can call all the time. Of course, you can drop some messages in our comment section. We're there all the time also. And we got a great little community going on over there. And if you're on the Good Morning Marianas page, that's one for you, where you can find it. And we're also on YouTube at NMI News 670. In fact, I've got to go open this up on the Good Morning Marianas page, because I got to make sure that I can see your comments if you're commenting over there. I'm only able to see, for the most part, your comments that are over here on the NMI News Service page, unless I specifically have this one open over here. Let me turn that volume down. There you go. But I know you guys are there. So you can call us anytime. We enjoy it. We love it when you do. It's a lot of fun when you get involved. At the top of the hour, we're going to have the latest update from the Associated Press. We do that every hour on the hour. We got it started when we got the show kicked off. That was the 7 a.m. update, and we got more coming after that. Man, there's somebody, here's what's going to happen after that update. We're going to talk about a local guy who's making his way up, looking like a superstar, and making the 40 under 40. Folks who are battling some recovery, they, excuse me, where was that? Is that a frog that came out of nowhere? And we got a new office that opened up in CK that's going to help out and help serve folks who have overcome some struggles. And then we're going to talk about other things like, did you know that today, somebody call United. Somebody call United right now and let them know today is cheap flight day. You tell them, at least there's 365 days a year. Make this one that day where it's not $1 million to go to Guam. Come on, help a brother out. It is cheap flight day, and we need that. And give us some love, United. Why? We've been there for you. I mean, Air Micronesia started here. That's where that's where it should be. Right? Air Mike started out of here, then Continental, then they merged with Continental, and then United, and then all the love leaves here and goes to Guam. Hey, it's good for Guam, I guess, but it's just $1 million to get to Guam, so we never really get to see it anymore. It's like $600 just to get us over there to visit the brothers and sisters over there, and for the sporting events, for business, you name it. The good news is, if you're if you're an employee at some company, you're able to get down there and let your company pay for it, and you get the frequent flyer miles, which they even skimp on that now. All right, we'll talk about that a little bit more. In fact, what we'll do first, we're going to take a real quick break. While United works on trying to get us some better rates on cheap flight day, you can get yourself in shape, and it's not going to cost you a lot either. You can go and do that at Saipan's newest gym. It's the latest facility with the latest equipment. They've got great... Oh my gosh, I'm interrupting a promo to react to that comment. Someone from Star Marianas, someone should tell CPA that. That's the comment of the year. I hear you loud and clear. I hear you. That is awesome. Hats off to you, Star Marianas. Is that not the best quote of the year? Comment of the year. All you other guys, apologies to you. That is awesome. I absolutely love that. I gotta. All right, let's see if I can slip back in to doing that promo. Hey, they say laughter is the best medicine, but nothing makes you feel better than the way you feel after a good workout. No one's ever finished a workout and said they feel terrible. Go down and find out for yourself at Saipan's newest gym. It's right in front of the Aquarius Beach Tower, and it is outstanding. I'm telling you, the latest equipment, great trainers, great facilities. They've got free weights. They've got the machines. They've got a sauna. They've got a cold plunge. The only thing they need is you, and they're giving you a great opportunity to do it. They've got great promos, and they're even going to let you try working out there for free. You think I'm kidding? Go down there. Tell them we sent you at the NMI News Service. Tell them you heard about it on Good Morning Marianas. Heck, hey, tell them Brad sent you. Go down there to Laddie Built 24-hour fitness right in front of the Aquarius Beach Tower in Chalakanoa. You can't miss it. It's the tallest building. That's Aquarius Beach Tower. But the coolest building is right in front. Go check it out for yourself. Here's a little sneak peek.
Persistence of build, be the inspiration, they witness approve. We do what we do by the rules in the book. We be a Lottie where discipline and vision is built. We lead by example, persistence of build, be the inspiration, they witness approve. We do what we do by the rules in the book.
It's a great day to be up 3-0. I'll tell you that. It probably is not great to be down 3-0.
I'm Brad Rosala, and I'm the owner for Commonwealth Communications.
And I am Jojo Alipuzu. I am the owner of Island Image and Ocean.
And this is our joint venture, Sideline Studios. This whole concept that we have of doing all these live stream productions and covering news and doing live shows and everything, it wouldn't happen if we didn't have a great partner like IT&E, someone who can handle the bandwidth and provide it and then get us what we need when we need it and then be a real partner for us for all the events, whether we're doing live sporting events, broadcasts. All of these things happen because of our partnership with IT&E.
With IT&E providing us with the fiber and point-to-point and even the MBRs, is just a great piece of equipment to use when we're broadcasting our sports, our events, our performances, especially our cultural performances. And it's just great to share our culture here in the Marianas with the world. And IT&E has been there from the get-go.
The thing I like best about working with IT&E is how willing they are to come out and find a solution. Even for Liberation Day, we thought we had a pretty good solution for our live stream setup, and it turns out that we did not have the right setup that we thought we needed. That day, just before the parade, reached out to Paul and said, here's our situation. What do you think? He's like, we're gonna figure this out. While he's sitting there barbecuing, getting ready for the parade to start, he starts burning up the phone lines, calling everybody in IT&E, what can we do, what's the right solution? They left their families to do this stuff and get us the equipment that we needed to broadcast live. That's over and above. That's on a holiday. That's when he was out there spending time with his family.
That's why IT&E is just the best, just really in touch with the people and the community.
I recommend IT&E to everybody. Tell them the options are there, and you can choose whoever you want and then figure out what you think is the best. But when you're ready, when you're tired of having your calls disconnected or not having service, then you reach out to the guys from IT&E.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. Vice President Kamala Harris is getting ready for her big night at the Democratic National Convention. Sagar Magani reports she'll make history.
Harris will become the first black woman and the first person of South Asian descent to accept a major party's presidential nomination. Her speech will wrap up the Democratic Convention, a day after running mate Tim Walz thanked the crowd for bringing joy to the race.
We're all here tonight for one beautiful, simple reason. We love this country.
And a campaign official says Harris tonight will lay out her vision for the country, an optimistic one compared to Donald Trump's dark agenda. Harris will also share her background and middle-class upbringing. Sagar Magani, Washington.
Donald Trump made a campaign appearance near the U.S.-Mexico border in Arizona.
We had a border czar who was the border czar. She loved the title, but she didn't want to do the work because she's lazy, and probably more importantly than being lazy, she wants to have an open border. And you say, who would want an open border where criminals can pour into our country?
The Supreme Court's rejected a Republican push to block more than 41,000 Arizona voters from casting ballots in the presidential race. But the justices are allowing some regulations that bar people from registering to vote if they don't provide proof of citizenship. A final night of pro-Palestinian demonstrations planned outside the Democratic National Convention. Chicago Police Superintendent Larry Snelling says no arrests were made last night as both pro-Israeli and pro-Palestinian groups marched in the city's Union Park.
Did we have a couple of dust-ups? Sure. All right, but those things were quickly rectified. And I can't say enough about the organizers who had their marshals moving along, and when someone was getting out of control, they would step in and help calm that down.
And the FDA has approved updated COVID-19 vaccines. This is AP News. The Canadian government's ordered the country's two major freight railroads to enter binding arbitration that come to a full stop amid a labor dispute with the Teamsters Union, halting shipments into the U.S. Seth Sutel has the AP Markets report.
Stocks closed lower on Wall Street in the run-up to the main event for markets for the week, a speech by Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell on Friday. The S&P 500 lost 0.9% Thursday. That was the worst day for the index in more than 2 weeks. The Dow dropped 177 points. That's about 0.4%. The Nasdaq Composite sank 1.7%. Treasury yields rose in the bond market following some mixed data on the economy. The U.S. economy has been slowing down after the Fed raised interest rates to their highest level in more than 20 years. To fight inflation. The Fed is widely expected to start cutting interest rates next month. Seth Sutel, New York.
Jobless claims inched higher last week but remain at historically healthy levels. Mortgage rates eased again while home sales picked up in July. I'm Ben Thomas, AP News. Thanks for listening.
Oh, that's not exactly what I was looking for. It's like a dance mix version of it, but it's too bad. I had a plan. That's all right. We can still talk about it. Let's talk about teeth, baby. All right, well, oh my gosh. I guess that's what we're going to go with on this one. It's not what I was going to do. In lieu of doing the chicken stuff, I was going to do this too. That's the worst. All right, so here we go. Let you know a little bit, something cool going on. All right. So, in the meantime, do you have Medicaid? Do you have teeth? Well, maybe you have both. If you do, then this could be the plan for you. Basically, if you've got Medicaid, then you've got coverage and you should use it. Now, a lot of times what you end up doing when you go to the clinics, they'll say, hey, we don't take Medicaid. There's all kinds of payment issues. There's always some kind of something, but not at Paradise Dental Spa on Middle Road in Gualarai. If you've got Medicaid, you know your extractions are covered at any age. You got fillings, they're covered. Do you need fillings? They're covered. Did you know it covers dental? Like if you have a toothache, that's covered. You got your fillings and extractions that you need, they're covered. How about if you're 20 years old or younger? That means you got kids who are under your Medicaid plan and you need a cleaning, that's covered under Medicaid too. They also cover dental coverage for your children and adults. They cover emergency dental services. They provide a peace of mind in urgent situations. So look, don't wait until you have a toothache to get checked out. Go down to Paradise Dental Spa in Gualarai. Check them out on Middle Road. You can't miss it. It's a really cool orange building. Go down there, get a checkup, and they will cover you with Medicaid. And child cleanings, they're covered too. Now, they're not going to clean your whole kid, but they're going to clean their teeth. And kids, almost everything they have are taken care of. So go check them out. I'm telling you, go to Paradise Dental today and let them see what they can do for you. That's what they want to do. They're not turning people away that have Medicaid. They're saying, please come in. Yeah, Luisa, I mean, that's one of the things. Do you have Medicaid and do you have teeth? If you have both, go down to Paradise Dental Spa in Gualarai. We're just starting up with them and just now starting to learn all the great things they have to offer for folks. And I'm telling you, don't miss out. And they're just genuinely good people too. I mean, and that's one of the things I like the most about doing this, is that I have come to know so many more people that are just great doing this. People who are in the business community, just regular folks who are just trying to get by like me. And, we're all working together. And this is one of the things that we're trying to help promote for them. They got fillings, cleanings, checkups. They got them. It's all free if you're under 20, for sure, if you're a kid. So you want to go down there and check them out. Give them a call. In fact, what is their number? I got everything here. What's their number? Their number is 234-4040. 234-4040. There you go. It's a good it's a good thing if for a dentist place to not be 30-30. You lose a couple of those teeth. So maybe they picked the right number. 234-4040. They're on Middle Road in Gualarai. Don't miss them. Do you want to fax them? Are you one of the people that still has a fax? Well, first of all, good for you. Their fax number is 488-1044. You can also send them an email at paradisedentalsaipan@gmail.com. You can check out their website too, paradisedentalspa.com. Maybe we'll put that in the comments for you. Paradisedentalspa.com. And you can see everything they've got. Paradisedentalspa.com. Kapow. Well, I put it somewhere. It just didn't pop up here. Oh, my gosh. I'll tell you, this keyboard has got to go. Today's it. I think both of my keyboards decide they don't want to be keyboards anymore. That's what's going on in my life today. When you guys put that up there, maybe Tomat or Lisa, can you guys put that in there? ParadiseDentalSpa.com. It's going to be, it's a rainy Friday. Anything can happen with the weather. I was going to wait until this thing got delivered. I might have to go down to Saipan Computer Services and pick up a keyboard. Or I got Megabyte right down the street too. Maybe I'll check them out and see what they have for us. But, oh my gosh, I can't believe I got to get another keyboard. Again. do they have a body man? That's what I need. Yeah, maybe that's the spa, Paradise Dental Spa. I'll tell you what, if you go in there to Paradise Dental Spa, if you haven't seen it, it is like, it almost is like a spa with the furniture that they have in their lobby. It is so relaxing. It is awesome. I'm going to be there next Wednesday. They're going to be hosting one of their professional development sessions that they've got. They do this for their staff. They're not just training their staff to do the job that they do, but they continuously try to get them to reach like the next level on all kinds of things. And one of the things they're going to do is it's like a personality, not a test, but it's a session where you learn how to talk to people that are different focused. Thank you, Ann. Thanks for being so great. Thanks for taking a break from cat gifts to give us that link. Fantastic. That is great. I'm serious. I'm looking at this light blinking on the keyboard. I'm like, come on, just be better. And it's not the batteries. Thank you. It is literally just the keyboard. It's been traveled. It's been well traveled. And maybe it's just on its last legs. I have definitely done some good things with this keyboard. I have learned how to take it apart and put it back together, work on the keys. Back when we were doing the Arguably Decent podcast, there have been a few drinks that have been spilled on this keyboard too. So, I mean, it's been 4 years. That's a pretty good run, wouldn't you say, for a keyboard? Is that about how much time you should get out of it? I don't know what the average service life of a keyboard is, but I think it's about done. And that stinks because I like it. I like my other one too, but what are you going to do? The old Logitech, what is this, the 920 or something? Oh, the K850. It was great while it lasted. We'll sing songs of your greatness. Speaking of greatness, this afternoon at lunch today, we're going to have a soccer promo. Gosh, I didn't tell you guys about this. The NMI ladies U15 soccer players are going at it again today. And they're in Macau, they're in Dalian, China, and they are playing all kinds of teams that are out there. And today they're going to be playing, here, let's call this JNA1. And they're going to be out there playing against Guam. So this is going to be a good one. They've already been playing some fierce competition. They had a real close game with Macau, which I was really hoping that they were going to pull that one out. But they ended up losing 2-1. Then they played Mongolia, and that game was fierce. Let me tell you, it was such a good game. And the ladies were battling back and forth. Nobody was able to score, and they went to 0-0. Then they played the powerhouse of the tournament, Hong Kong. Holy cow, just a steamroller. Macau came in and crushed, Hong Kong came in, crushed Macau 7-0. They came in and beat the NMI 8-0. Well, now the NMI is going to play against our neighbors. That's right, the folks next door, and we're going to cover it right here at lunchtime today. I don't know what your lunch plans are, but pop open your phone and watch it as we bring you the contest between our NMI U15 women's team playing against the Guam women's team as well. We're going to have it right here. We're also going to put it on our YouTube channel too. So if you don't Facebook, don't worry. We're able to get you on our YouTube channel. And please, while you're over there at our YouTube channel, please subscribe at the old channel. That is NMI News 670, and we're streaming right now. We're streaming this. And man, I'm so disappointed that that's what I ended up bringing to the table, was that I needed to get the other version of it. In fact, here, let's get back. I want to try it again, talk about it. Let's see if I can get it going. Let's see. Is this it? Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk about teeth. Let's talk about teeth, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Anyway, so we were talking about Paradise Dental and how they have if you have Medicaid, come in there. You don't have to wait. You don't have to sign up for a plan. There's not like an open enrollment or anything. Just go down there, schedule an appointment so you can get it checked out. Don't wait until your tooth hurts to go down there. And we're talking cleanings. They've got all kinds of stuff for Medicaid, and they're not turning you away because you've got Medicaid. They want you to come in. It's got to be refreshing to hear that, because it seems like just the opposite. But here's the other one. If you're especially if you are a government worker, this is the one for you. But it doesn't start till November, because in November, that's open enrollment for the whole medical plans and everything, right? And that's it. So when you choose your insurance and everything like that with the CNMI government, as a government employee, you have the options of picking all these different dental plans. You should absolutely look for this one because it's the least expensive with the best coverage. $4 every paycheck. That's how much you'll be paying for dental coverage. Yes, $4 per paycheck is what it is for just an individual. If it's for two people, it's a total of $5. That's not 4 plus 5. It is 4 plus 1. It is a total of $5 per paycheck for your dental coverage. If you've got a whole family, it's $6 a paycheck. That's it. With the Paradise Dental Island Smiles discount plan. You got to, again, I'm giving you a heads up on this. You've got until November when open enrollment hits, and a lot of people don't really think too much of it. They just pick one. There's so many facts and figures to go over. Yeah, it's true. I got a whole packet full of those facts and figures right here, and you might not want to go through all of those things, but it's worth checking out. And you can find it on their website. You can go down and find out. They'll be happy to tell you about it when you go down there anyway. But the Island Smiles discount dental plan is the one that you want to look into. $6 per paycheck can cover your whole family. And that is for government employees when open enrollment comes up in November. I'm giving you a head start. We're going to talk about it next month. We're going to talk about it in October also to get you ready for it. But now you go. But yes, Louisa, let's talk about cavities. Let's talk about, that's it. See, we can write a song. We can absolutely do that. We got time. We got to work out a commercial for him anyway. So maybe that's how we end up doing this. It'll be a lot of fun. All right, folks. Well, now that we have some time, we've got the latest, I think. I don't think I played this for you, did we? Yeah, I guess maybe we did. I did put it in there. Good. All right. So that's not too bad. But that means I missed the chicken. All right. That's not too bad. It's not too bad. I have an opportunity to get back there, and we're gonna see if we can't get back on there too. All right, folks. Well, it is 84 degrees now. We're looking at a high near 86 today. Again, 30% chance of rain. You can see it's actually getting nice and bright out there, so that's a plus. But who knows how far it goes. We'll see if we're able to play some baseball tonight because the third game of the opening round of the playoffs is tonight. Hey, Drake, thanks for tuning in. Good to see you. The third game tonight, and this is a big one, too, because it's the second-place Bandits. They're going to be out there playing against Sandlot. I'm not sure how they pulled that. I would think that it would have been the second seed would have pulled the 7th seed. I'm not the playoff guy, right? But you would think that it would go, the top seed is in. And then you would break it down like 2nd, 7th, and then 3rd and 6th, and then 2 and or then 4 and 5, right? Well, anyway, however it goes, that's not how it's going right now. So right now, we're going to end up having these guys go at it tonight, weather permitting. And it rained overnight. Hopefully that field gets nice and dried up. If it stays bright like this and it doesn't drizzle all day, then we should be in some pretty good shape and to see some good baseball. And then we'll move on to round 2 next week. Hopefully, again, we get through it now. It does say maybe. I had that yesterday, too, just because I'm not sure. I mean, it all depends. It's a game time decision all the time. Yesterday, it was looking pretty good all day, and we were finally able to get to it, and that's what we needed. And again, if we can get through this round this week, and then next week, there's only 2 games. It's like the semifinals before you get to the finals. And in the finals, that's where we have the best of 3 series. I don't know who's going to make it because so far, all the good teams made it to the playoffs. But now you're starting to really drill down and get to the creme de la creme, right? Man, I'll tell you, watching the Padres last night, they have a weapon in their third baseman, JP Sablon. What a cannon. Now, the Cardinals, everybody's got good players. Everybody can throw accurately and do well and all that stuff. The Cardinals have a catcher with a cannon for an arm, right? In Gerald Cabrera. That guy can straight up just strike people when they're trying to steal second base. He can gun them down. But JP Sablon at third base for the Padres. Wow. I mean, like, there's nothing. Anybody who thinks they're going to be able to get an infield single when it's hit his way, they got another thing coming. I mean, the fastest guy's getting thrown out by this guy. And it doesn't even look like he's trying when he gets it. It launches. It's something different. It's like when you watch the guys in TV or like the athletes in TV, in the pros, there's always, when somebody's different, it stands out. And this guy is just different. He has an arm on him. And if that ball gets to first base in like some kind of little rocket ship, it's there. And you got to have a good first baseman catching that ball, and Tony Salas is there. So Padres, man, they got something to shout about over there for sure. So we'll see what happens tonight with the Bandits and the Sandlot. And fingers crossed they get to play. Hey, I know you guys were talking about the shirt. Yeah, it is. It's my fancy new shirt. I got this from the guys over at Hagu Real. I always think of it like the soccer, like Hagu Real. I know it is Hagu Real, but man, it's that stretchy material. Like, there's some little fine designs. I don't know if you could pick them up in the line. Got some cool like island style stuff going on. Anyway, and I want to keep it in the color scheme that we got going on for the NMI News Service. And hey, not too bad. So Hagu Real gave me a great deal on it, and they are down the street. And I can get you all their contact information. But I love what I got from them so far, and I'm really happy with it. So they've been First of all, Rod's just a good dude to me. He's been great. And we'll end up getting more stuff from them, too. We're going to get some other things priced out. And, yeah, so that's what we got going on. Yeah, Drake, the weather back home, I'll tell you, it's not bad out here. Today's one of those days. It started off rainy, and it was all wet out there on the streets, and we just got to hope it stays dry. Today it's going to be tough, though. Again, a 30% chance of rain, which when we had the National Weather Service on earlier in the week, they told us the same thing. Hey, if they put a percentage on there, it means it's pretty much going to rain, whatever the percentage is. So that's what we're looking at today for sure. We're looking at more rain. Hey, speaking of looking at things, people are looking at the NMI because they named one of our local rising stars as one of the 40 under 40. Northern Marianas College, they sent this out to us last night. The SBDC, the Small Business Development Center Network, they're proud to announce that Roman Tudela, he was recognized as one of the nation's 40 recipients of the prestigious 40 under 40 SBDC awards. And it spotlights extraordinary contributions of individuals under 40 years old and who have significantly impacted their local networks and the broader business landscape. He was on the show with us going back a couple weeks ago and giving us all kinds of great, giving us some great info about like what's coming up with SBDC and all the great programs they have. He's working with Nadine De Leon Guerrero, who's been just a superstar over there and been great, very supportive with everything that we've been doing and all the things that we want to do. Especially, they've been really supportive of the veterans by bringing folks in to help folks with veteran-owned businesses. And boy, I'll tell you, every time they bring folks in, it is like you're at a TED Talk. You're receiving one of those personalized master's classes with some of the folks that come in to give the session. Even better than that, it includes food. Yeah. PIC food at that. That's right. These abs aren't going to grow themselves. They make sure they take care of everything. They try to get you and they get you folks who have real experience to help guide your business and guide you through the whole process. And they want to make sure you don't do it on an empty stomach. So they got me for sure. But anyway, it's a big deal for Roman. It's got to be an honor. His family's got to be proud of him. And here's a statement from Nadine saying, Roman's a stellar member of the CNMI SBDC network team. Much can be attributed to the success of our organization's online and community presence through his tireless efforts and dedication to moving the SBDC's mission forward, not just as an individual, but more importantly, as a team player. We are very fortunate to have him on board. That is high praise. You're going to hear stuff like that from the person that you're working for. That's pretty awesome. And that means you're doing some good stuff. And he had some things that he wanted to say too, because he should. He said, growing up at his grandfather's general store, Tudela Enterprises, in the village of San Vicente, he didn't realize that at a small time, what seemed like just a regular day was actually hands-on education running a small business. That early experience gave him a head start in understanding the intricacies of business, and it's been an underlying passion that's driven him through his education and career. Being honored with the America's SBDC 40 Under 40 and State Star Award for the CNMI SBDC network is not just about his efforts. It's a tribute to the incredible support he's received from his family, friends, and colleagues. That recognition reflects a legacy of work that's come before him, the dedication happening now, and the continued efforts he'll make to strengthen the small business community across the CNMI. And I'll tell you, they are doing a great job. They really are doing a great job. And I'm a recipient of it. I mean, I'm a recipient of the great job that they've been doing by being able to attend their classes and being able to call them for advice on how to do things and get things managed and all that. And they are really fantastic. And again, what I love about it, there are limited resources. We hear there's so many out there, but they're not always easy to find, especially for veterans. And they are out in front getting stuff done like that. And I absolutely love what they're doing for our community, not just the veterans, but for everybody. So hats off to you guys over there, and keep it up, because people are seeing it for sure. When you're hitting that big of an impact, you're getting that kind of an award, you're doing great. All right. Oh, we've got a few more things left because we talked about these guys already. All right. Do we want to talk about this again? No. Okay. This is the one. We missed this one this week because we had other stuff going on. And, people who say things aren't happening in the Marianas, they just don't know. Right? There are a lot of things happening, especially, if you're trying to do your own business, that's for sure. But there are a lot of events and a lot of positive things happening. When we hear about the economy, inflation, the price of everything, I know all that stuff can get pretty overwhelming. But there are good things happening in our community too. And there was a nice one that happened on just down the street in Chalakanoa at the beginning of the week. Is a substance abuse addiction and rehabilitation center. They've got a new outreach partnership program office in CK. And Charlotte Flores is the one who's going to run that. They did a big ribbon cutting over there in CK on Texas Road. I know the road doesn't go all the way across through Oleai like it would be awesome if it did, so that we can have a great little pass-through around all the road work. Every time I hear Texas Road, that's all I think about it. But that's one of them. Anyway, they just opened it up, and it's going to be a great opportunity for in a community that could really use it. I remember when former DPS Commissioner James Elian Guerrero said that CK was like the crime capital of Saipan. Like it's where the most crime is. And a lot of that can be attributed to drug use. And having a resource center like that for the community, for the substance abuse, addiction, and rehabilitation program, it's a great spot for it, really. And to turn that place into something productive down there, hats off to you. Man, I wish we could have been there. This one missed us. They even messaged us, too. That's the worst part about it. But specifically, and we just had so much going on this week, we just could not make it. And when I say we, not a whole lot more than what you're looking at right now. And this is, of course, also first week we don't have our intern for the past 5 weeks. We're already missing VJ, for sure. So, great job opening up. Oh, the 5K. Louisa, that's right. I thought about doing that this morning, by the way. I'm like, oh, you know what I could do? I woke up. I was up early. I was up around 4. And I'm like, oh, I could go out and I could just live stream this run. And I started thinking about it. Man, I don't think this is going to be fun. True story. Now, do I really want to be running right now at this time at 4 o'clock? No, I don't. I got a lot to do today. I'm going to be wrecked at the end of it. So I figure smartly, end up doing it like Sunday morning. I thought about even doing it today at some point during the day, whether in the morning or after the show. But today's show is just one of the pieces of what we got going on. One sec. So prepping for the show today, coming off of baseball night is a big deal. It's a later night. You got baseball, talking the whole time and all that. So right after this, I've got to get to prepping because we're going to be shooting a commercial for NM Posse today. And then while I'm done prepping for that is about the time we're going to start doing the play-by-play for the women's soccer. After that is about enough time for me to eat something real quick and then head over to NM Posse to shoot that commercial. And then after that's done, come back, start editing that stuff and getting ready for baseball. So, and baseball, hopefully the weather is good enough for us to do it. And then I'll be able to do that. So I'm like, if I just do it in the morning tomorrow, then I can get it done. I could get up and do that run in the morning. And what I'll do, I was thinking about it, like if I stream the whole thing, I don't think anyone's going to want to be with me for a half. It's going to take me a while. So I don't have to stream the whole thing. And plus, to hold it like this the whole time would be kind of not awesome. So what I'm thinking is that I've got the old watch that tracks everything. So I'll do that. Maybe I'll do a little bit before and a little bit after. And that's the best way to go with it. But it's going to get done. It's going to get done. I think you just call it tomorrow morning. Wake up early, do a 5K, not a step further. And we'll get that done. And why are we doing the 5K? We're doing the 5K because we hit 5,000 followers. Thank you, CNMI, and everybody who pays attention to the CNMI for doing this. That's the big deal. We hit 5,000 followers, so we're going to run a 5,000 meter run for the CNMI. Oh, Brad, that's easy. Anyone could do it. Maybe, but I'm not running easy these days. It's going to take a little bit more work for sure. Anyway, so 8:35 in the morning right now. Things are looking good, and our phone lines are open. We're able to take your call. So if you've got something for us, give us a ring at 789-2323, 789-2323. Oh, got a message. This is really good. Wow, that's great. That is great news that they may have figured out who it was for Judy's. That's great. That is really great. So that was a message that just came in. So let's hopefully they'll get them. That's going to be outstanding. Look for the guy with the reflective vest. They got him. They didn't get him yet, but it says, the message says that they were able to figure out who it was. So let's see if they are able to get the person who, the people, because there were two of them, who burglarized Judy's yesterday morning. All right, let's see here. 1 second. This is so funny. The other message that came in is absolutely hilarious. And Louisa and Chuck know exactly what I'm talking about, why I'm laughing about it, because I talked to them about that message last night that we got. Got follow-up messages about it today. It's baseball related. It's funny. It's funny. It is funny. But you guys are in there about that inside joke on that one now. There's just something to laugh about. Anyway. Yes, it is. All right. Hey, I know it's we're creeping up toward 9 o'clock, and that's where we're starting to get closer to the start of school for MHS, because they start at 9 o'clock, which is, to me, a little crazy because it seems like it's a little bit too late. So when the roads are going to get a little bit more congested, it's not going to be the morning rush, but it's going to be a little more congested along Beach Road. So when you're heading south or north on Beach Road and you're coming through the Olei area, there are ways around. You see where it's blinking now is probably the place where you're going to get stuck the most. Although it seems like they opened up a second lane. It's divided by cones. It's really confusing, but it's still there. But you're able to make that turn. But when it does get congested there's an alternative that DPS has, and they're sending you through the village of Olei. So when you're doing it, be careful, be safe, be slow. You're going through the village where kids are, where people are walking and all that. You got dogs and everything. These are not busy streets. These are the village roads. So to help alleviate that traffic, DPS is asking if you go out through there, because school buses, man, they could slow you down for sure. But this is one way to get around all that. So take your time when you're going through and doing it. Don't zip through. Be respectful when you're going through the village roads, because that's what you're supposed to do. I mean, that's just part of being a good community-minded person out here in the CNI. All right, hey, we're going to take a real quick break. When we come back, we're going to have a couple more announcements and get you all set up for the weekend, get you ready for today for soccer and then tonight for baseball. We'll be right back.
My name is Kelly. I've never been good at giving up. And that's okay, because I have big plans. This might sound crazy right now, but someday, I will be the captain of my own ship.
This is the captain. Attention on deck!
I'll steer it through new waters. And I'll stand up to the biggest storms. Me and my crew will fight back against the toughest enemies. I'll lead the sailors on my ship, my way. And together, we will always do what is right. I'll show the world any girl can be a captain. I'll show them that I am enough, no matter what comes my way, I'll stay the course. Because history won't remember those who took the easy way out. My name is Kelly, and it means determination.
Player number 14,
It's a great day to be up 3-0. I'll tell you that. It probably is not great to be down 3-0.
I'm Brad Rosala, and I'm the owner for Commonwealth Communications.
And I am Jojo Alipuzu. I am the owner of Island Image and Ocean.
And this is our joint venture, Sideline Studios. This whole concept that we have of doing all these live stream productions and covering news and doing live shows and everything, it wouldn't happen if we didn't have a great partner like IT&E, someone who can handle the bandwidth and provide it and then get us what we need when we need it, and then be a real partner for us for all the events, whether we're doing live sporting events, broadcasts. All of these things happen because of our partnership with IT&E.
With IT&E providing us with the fiber and point-to-point and even the MBRs, it's just a great piece of equipment to use when we're broadcasting our sports, our events, our performances, especially our cultural performances. And it's just great to share our culture here in the Marianas with the world. And IT&E has been there from the get-go.
The thing I like best about working with IT&E is how willing they are to come out and find a solution. Even for Liberation Day, we thought we had a pretty good solution for our live stream setup, and it turns out that we did not have the right setup that we thought we needed. That day, just before the parade, we reached out to Paul and said, here's our situation. What do you think? He's like, we're gonna figure this out. While he's sitting there barbecuing, getting ready for the parade to start, he starts burning up the phone lines, calling everybody in IT&E, what can we do, what's the right solution? They left their families to do this stuff and get us the equipment that we needed to broadcast live. That's over and above. That's on a holiday. That's when he was out there spending time with his family.
That's why IT&E is just the best, just really in touch with the people and the community.
I recommend IT&E to everybody. Tell them the options are there, and you can choose whoever you want and then figure out what you think is the best. But when you're ready, when you're tired of having your calls disconnected or not having service, then you reach out to the guys from IT&E.
And for the Saipan Paddling Club, it's time to row their boat for the 2024 Micro Cup. And you can get on board with their raffle fundraiser on Saturday, August 24th. Tickets are just $1 and the grand prize is $200. All proceeds go to get the paddlers to the Micro Cup and help get them uniforms so they represent the CNMI in style. So support your local paddlers and buy a bunch of raffle tickets for your chance to win the $200 grand prize. Just go to the Saipan Paddling Club Facebook page for more information. That's the Saipan Paddling Club raffle fundraiser on Saturday, August 24th at 3 p.m. Don't be a drip. Help with their trip.
It's chicken time. Good morning, Marianas. It's Friday. Don't be afraid. But you can be chicken. Everybody, let's rock. Everybody, let's balk. Oh my God, I absolutely love it. Good morning, everybody. 8:44 in the morning here on Friday. It is August 23rd. And what is the word today? I'll tell you, do they have one of those things where they give you like a daily word and that's how this thing goes? Because I can tell you, this is pretty cool. Oh my gosh. Let me see. Let me just check the names real quick because I think this is killing me. Oh yeah, this would work for Tobot for sure. I don't know if you guys have seen these things, but hold on. Where they've got like the roosters or they've got like the little guinea pigs or something like that yelling out the names and all that stuff. Absolutely slays me as well. It is pretty funny. Anyhow. Oh my God, chicken and beer day. Absolutely, Gina. I'll tell you, it was in Korean, they call it chimek. And that is the fried chicken and beer. And oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This stuff is so good. And I don't know what it is about Korean fried chicken. There's some other kind of spices that they put in. It's just something that's a little bit different, but it's great. And I know I told you guys about the best chicken wings that I had in Saipan. I just had them a couple of days ago at Godfather's, and I'm not going to get deep into it because I know I already got people thinking about Godfather's, but go check them out and ask them for that same way. Ask for the buffalo wings. Tell them you want them naked, which means no breading or anything, and then extra crispy. Tell them to get that bowl, throw a little pat of butter in that bowl, throw that Frank's hot sauce in there, and then toss it up in there afterwards. That's the way to go. Ooh, geez. Some serious horn honking going on out there. Let's take a look. What's going on down there on the street? Nothing. So who's beeping? What's going on? Why was somebody freaking out over there? I don't know if you guys heard that in the background, but somebody was honking the horn like it was their job. Anyway, good times. Well, there's only a few things that we got left to knock out for today. I know a lot of you guys are settling in at the office and all that stuff. If you haven't already, please get subscribe to us over there on YouTube, and you can hit that little bell too. And that way, every time we go live, you will know it. They will send you a notification. So subscribe to us there. We're trying to get to 1,000 over there. We hit and by the way, running a 1K is way more fun than doing a 5K. Then we've got we hit 5,000 here on Facebook, but we're continuing to grow, and we want to keep doing that. We want to keep getting even bigger for sure, so we can have more reach, and that's going to do more for our advertising and for our conversations with folks. And people are excited, definitely, about jumping in, and I am too. I'm absolutely excited about it. So again, today at 12 o'clock, we're going to be live with the ladies U15 against Guam, and then that's at noon. And then tonight, weather permitting, we got baseball again. The final game of the first round for playoffs. Bandits, Sandlot tonight. That's going to be a good one too. That's going to be a good one. The big question is, talking to Ray Palacios, who do you got? He's like, oh man, I just don't know if the Sandlot's got the pitching. That's the one thing for them. They got a great team, but do they have the pitching? So we're going to find out tonight when they play the Bandits, because the Bandits got some pitching too. They got some ballers, and we'll see what happens. I mean, like, some of it is you're able to see just based on the stats for the season. And we'll see what they got this year. We'll see if they're able to pull it all together. Hopefully it's just a good game more than anything, because last night it was flying. It was moving nice and quick. It was moving real nice and quick. The way I like it. We got out of there before 10 o'clock, so I definitely like it. For a 9-inning game, not a 7-inning game. That's the other thing. The regular playoffs that we have out here, they're only 7-inning games in the regular season. And I know some of the players have said that they'd rather have 9-inning games, but having all those games all week, that late all the time, they want to keep them short. And maybe they look at trying to do a pitch clock next season to speed it up. I know it's just a regular league, but I mean, that's what the pros are doing. And they're doing it because they want to speed those games up. They're getting 9-inning games done in like 2.5 hours. The pros. That means that we could probably do that too, which wouldn't be bad. Imagine every game you're out of there by 9 o'clock. Oh, be awesome, right? It sounds a whole lot more fun. We get that game done in 2.5 hours. I mean, for me, for sure, right? But it's not like you're getting less of a game as a player. You're still playing that full game. But that would be if you can get 9 innings in. But in order to do that, you guys got to do the pitch clock. That would be a big... Oh, no, IJ, you don't like it. What if you could still have a 9-inning game, but you got to pitch? No, you're right. Talk to me about it, though, really. If you had a pitch clock, but you could get a 9-inning game instead of a 7-inning game, you wouldn't rather have a 9-inning game instead of 7? That's like a couple more at-bats. I hear you. I want to hear you, too. All right, come on, talk to me. I like the idea of you guys getting in all that. Like if you guys could get 9, and that's 2 more innings worth of chances to get out there. That's what I mean. Like if you guys get 9 innings, but if you could get that in, because you guys don't want to be playing until 11 o'clock during the week, probably, right? That's got to be a tough one. Now, if you guys were playing on the weekends and it was during the day, maybe. But that's why I think I don't know. You're right. I'm not playing. And you know what? Even better than that, IJ, here's the best thing. I completely understand that point of view too, because that's part of one of my gripes about, that's one of my things about like some of the events that get run here, like they get organized by people who've never done those kind of races and never done those events. Yep. I get it. I like 9 innings. But talk to me about the old pitch clock, though. You don't like the pitch clock? The idea to keep it moving? At least the old hustle in, hustle out, right? Thanks. I like the idea of doing it. Well, we'll see. I would love to see you guys play 9 innings. I'd like just if they could tighten it up by getting, make sure those the pitchers get out on the mound, get those warm-ups in real quick, and then keep it clock. Okay, good. You're on board with the pitch clock. I love it. There you go. There we go. I love it. I'll tell you what, the D-Niners, I know they definitely wanted some more longer games. And they've got, I think their bench, it's like some of the stuff, like some of the teams, I think are better suited for 9-inning games. For sure. Because their benches go a little bit deeper. Maybe some of the guys got to work a little bit later, so they got to get there later too. I mean, like it's all a little bit different. But that's where some of this stuff is starting to come out in the playoffs, where you're able to see like the real strengths of some of the teams. Yeah, that's right. It says because we can't let everyone take more than 30 seconds to pitch. I know. It's tough. It is tough. And you got to get into a rhythm. But yeah, taking 30 seconds between each pitch, and it's more than that, right? Because if you figure, if it's 100 pitches, right? That's 3,000 seconds, right? 60 seconds in a minute. That's like a ton of time just for the breaks in between the pitching for just one team, right? It's kind of crazy. Yeah, that's a good point, Toba. It said, I think pitch clock should be considered, our weather format is so bipolar. No kidding. It's a big impact. It would have a big impact on it. The umps would be happier, for sure. The umpires would definitely be happier. The only ones that would have to adjust are the pitchers. And the pitchers wouldn't even be upset about it. It would just be a little adjustment at the beginning. That's what I think. Now, when there's nobody on base, you get a little more time. If you got runners on base, though, it's got to be tighter. That's it. So it'll get things going quicker. That's for sure. Man, last game, I'm telling you, Oh, that's a good point. He says we need umpires that don't play in a team also. Oh. Yeah, you know what? That is something that normally doesn't happen. In the we had just to give you an idea, in soccer we have there was one. Well, we do have officials who also played in the league, and then that makes it kind of tough. Because if for no other reason, if you give them the business on the field, whether it's in the game when you're playing against them or while they're the ref, that stuff sticks around and builds up. That's kind of tough. You're right. But aside from Byron, who else is I know Byron Kaipat. Is there anyone else who's in the league, who's playing, who's umping? I'm just thinking Byron. And I haven't seen a whole lot of his games when he's calling balls and strikes. But he seemed pretty legit out there. Hector? Oh, yeah, Hector. Is he playing with Blue Shark? I think he's playing for Blue Shark. I'm not sure. That's just off the top of my head. I don't remember. But yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I'll tell you what though is also tough. They had to lean on other people because one of the umps had to not be allowed to ump after a while this year too. I can't imagine that it's easy for them to find umpires because they get a lot of guys to come out there. We got Tony Satur comes out, Tony Regolafoy comes out, almost like out of retirement. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Now, that's a really good conversation. In case you guys are just listening and not seeing it in the comments, IJ saying, hey, not going to lie, Byron's good at umping, but his team's top 5. Not saying anything bad. I'll tell you what, so Byron Kaipat, he is an experienced ball player out here. I got to see him when he was a lot younger, too, and so to see him now be like one of the senior statesmen on the field is pretty cool. And I appreciate watching him umpire the games because he doesn't mess around. Like, he doesn't half-ass a call. Like, he'll make a call and that's it. He doesn't waver on it. And that's one of the most important things, whether you're an official at any kind of sporting event, just giving definitive guidance, like, that's it. Right? Not like, are you sure? There were a lot of those things. They don't, like, when people are afraid to just be wrong, instead of making a call, what they always tell you in every sport, as an official, they tell you, you make your call and you stick with your call. That's it. When you make the call, that's it. Because then you see that lack of certainty from the umpires of what's going on. Now, they might not like the call, but you're not out there to make friends. You're not out there to make enemies either. You're just out there to make a call. So make the call the way you see it. Don't waver on it and stick with it. And I know it's difficult because I've done it. I tell you, yeah. I was a referee for ice hockey. I was a linesman, and then I was a center referee. And I've done that. I ran AR for soccer, but I never took any classes for it. Just experience of playing the game and helping out, right? Because they need help. The thing is, when you make a call, you get in there, you get stuck in, and that's your call. And the players will appreciate it. You can't call stuff you don't see, but if you see it, you got to make that decision. You call it and you stick with it, and that's it. Byron sticks with it. He makes that call, and people also don't give him of a hard time because they know he knows the game. They know he's been around, and they know. Again, I thought it was interesting that he was calling too as a player in the league, but I know it happens, and part of that is, man, you probably just need players. I saw that we need walk-ups, meaning walk-up songs, right? So, yes, I love that idea. So that's when the league started, there were a lot more folks who were there. Oh, yeah. When the league started, there were a lot more volunteers there at the beginning, right? I remember seeing, like, Herm Kittel was in there. There's a lot of people who were in the press box working like the organ music and all that kind of stuff, playing some songs and all that. But as the season drags on longer and longer, you can really see that other people have other stuff going on in life too, and you can really see the people who are there who are really in it. Like Louisa and Chuck, they're there all the time. Ray Palacios, there all the time, and Kyle, even if he's not playing. Or even if he's not doing PA all the time, he's in there. He pays attention to that. And even the guys who do the field, those are the guys who are there. It's difficult to get somebody like that. Would be somebody like Ray is the chief statistician, right? That's the guy who's got a lock on all the stats. But I don't think he's the guy who's queuing up every song and getting ready. Like, you'd have to get someone who's really passionate about getting those songs done. As far as for us, for the broadcast, though, we'd have copyright issues. Like, we wouldn't be able to play it on there. But at least for the PA, so that everybody could hear those songs, if you had, like, if it was me, which it can't be because we got too much going on during the games, just to have all those songs for everybody. Like, I've got this tool here. It's got a thing that helps out called the Stream Deck that I plug into my computer. I've got, like, the screen I'm looking at, well, there's 15 buttons right there, right? And there's different pages. I would have, like, a Blue Jays page, a Sandlot page, you name it. Every team have all their stuff on there for the walk-ups. And I would just, either put their names on there on each button, because you can program all that stuff. Just hit it, be fine, and it would be cool. It would be awesome. I mean, it would be awesome. But you need somebody. So that's just to say that it could be done where it wouldn't be too difficult, right? The hardest part is going in and getting all the songs and labeling them and all that. But the real hardest part is finding someone who's going to be passionate about doing that stuff and do it all the time, right? You got people who are willing to line the fields for no money. They're out there. Those dudes lining the fields are not getting paid to do that, dude. That's what's pretty cool about the league. Like, nobody's getting paid to do that kind of stuff, right? And so, like, even us doing the games, like, the league is not paying us a nickel to do any of this stuff. So, excuse me. Not a complaint either. There's nothing negative about that. Just to give you like an idea, right? Like, we're doing it because, we love it. And we love that you guys are playing. We love that baseball is back in the CNMI again. And we want to do that. And doing one game a week is pretty good to assemble the super team and all that stuff. But for us to try to get folks for every night for the playoffs, it's really tough. When we get to the finals, we'll see if we can't make sure that we have a crew for it every single night to make sure that we're good. But we're doing what we can. I love the idea of walk-ups, though, man. I love the idea of walk-ups. You know what I love even more than the walk-ups? When you see those videos from Little Leagues where their moms change out their songs. The moms take over the PA for one night, like one day, and then they'll change their songs. I absolutely love that stuff, dude. That stuff cracks me up. It does. It's hilarious. All right. Well, I think that's about what we got today. Hey, thanks for watching today. And you guys, yep. And Tobot, man, you're giving back too. You did that. You tinted up that window side in the press box for nothing. Just for love, man. It's awesome. That's why this community is awesome. All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up because I got to get ready for this this commercial shoot that we're going to do today. And I've got to get ready for the broadcast at 12 o'clock for soccer. And then we got our baseball today. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Knock on that wood for great baseball today. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll get back. We'll be back again on Monday morning as well for Good Morning Marianas. And hopefully we'll be able to get some more details on what's going on over at the Bureau of Military Affairs. We got a ship coming in tomorrow, too. Oh, my gosh. I can tell you all about that, but I haven't had the pre-arrival meeting yet. They haven't scheduled it. But once they do, we'll bring all the info to you. All right, you guys, take care. Have a great day, and we'll see you again. We'll see you at lunchtime for soccer. We'll see you in the evening for baseball, and that's it. So here we go, folks. We'll see you in a little bit.
Good morning, Marianas. So many things we gotta discuss. Happy day, Tirawamian greetings to Rhoda, Guam, Saipan, and Tinian. We're all here on the news from a beautiful place with Pacific views. It's always so much fun on Good Morning Marianas.
Recent polls have shown a fifth of Americans can't locate the U.S. on a world map. Why do you think this is?
I personally believe that U.S. Americans are unable to do so because some people out there in our nation don't have maps, and I believe that our education, like such as in South Africa and the Iraq, everywhere like such as, and I believe that they should, our education over here in the U.S. should help the U.S. or should help South Africa and should help the Iraq and the Asian countries, so we will be able to build up our future for our children.
Thank you very much, South Carolina.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. As Vice President Kamala Harris prepares to formally accept the Democratic Party's presidential nomination tonight, Jackie Quinn reports her opponent was at the border.
Former President Donald Trump invited several families of victims allegedly killed by migrants in the U.S. illegally to join him at the unfinished border wall in Sierra Vista, Arizona.
She wants our country to be open to the world's criminals.
Trump ticked through a list of brutal crimes, joined by some families of victims, including the mother of 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungaray, kidnapped and killed in Houston, allegedly by 2 migrant men.
We're losing very innocent people to heinous crimes.
She urged people to vote for Trump.
These people want to go back to the safe past.
I'm Jackie Quinn.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky visited the border area where his forces launched their surprise offensive into Russia. Meantime, the International Atomic Energy Agency says it'll look into a report from Russia that drone fragments were found in the vicinity of a nuclear power plant in the Kursk region.
U.S. officials tell the AP the aid totals about $125 million and includes air defense missiles, munitions for high-mobility artillery rocket systems, javelins, and counter-drone and counter-electronic warfare systems. The aid comes as the Biden administration works to get a better understanding of Ukraine's incursion into Russia and what their long-term goals are. Russian forces are making gains in Ukraine, around the city of Pokrovsk, moving closer to its stated aim of capturing the Donetsk region. Ed Donahue, Washington.
Jobless claims rose slightly last week while mortgage rates are down and home sales up. Stocks closed lower today. And the Canadian government's ordered the country's 2 major freight railroads to enter binding arbitration that come to a full stop amid a labor dispute with the Teamsters Union, halting shipments into the U.S. This is AP News. A Guatemalan man's been indicted in a human smuggling effort that ended with 53 migrants dead in a sweltering tractor trailer in San Antonio 2 years ago. And in the southern African nation of Botswana, one of the largest diamonds ever has been found. Charles de Ledesma has details.
The government believes the huge 2,492-carat stone is the biggest discovered in the country. It will be put on show on Thursday today. Canadian mining company Lucara Diamond said in a statement on Wednesday it recovered the exceptional rough diamond from its Karo mine in western Botswana. It's unclear if the diamond is of a high gem quality, but that weight would make it the largest diamond found in more than 100 years, and the second largest dug out of a mine after the Cullinan diamond was discovered in South Africa in 1905. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
And I'm Ben Thomas, AP News. Thanks for listening.